Hello, welcome to the Insaka Talk Show. My name is Winnie. I'm the co-host today for the Insaka Talk Show. Happy Sunday, wherever you're watching us from. Today we have an interesting topic, and we're going to be talking to this young lady who's smart, inspiring, rising star, just like all over. Like you want to be a child and you want to be thinking like that. So for the young girls who are out there, who are under 30, stay tuned. Before I call my guest host, I'm going to talk about a little bit of what happened last couple of weeks ago. I think we had AIDS Walk, and AIDS Walk was amazing. We had so many people came in to support us, and we're just so grateful here in diaspora. People who are always supporting us, people who are always sponsoring Women to Know Foundation. We just want to say thank you. And we're hoping you guys come to the gala in December. But we had an amazing time. The team in Zambia did amazing. Guys, you're a rock star. You did it. And we can only do this because God, He's in it. And nobody is in there, but God is in it. That's why it's possible. And we're grateful for everyone who walked up that morning and just like want to be part of it. Like Judy 50 was there, and Gloria K was there. So it was amazing to just see people in diaspora. They had time to go and spend morning with the kids and the youth. That was amazing. So thank you. And I'm gonna bring in my guest host today, and stay tuned. And it's weird today, but hey, stay tuned as I bring my guest host today. Her name is Ruthie. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome, Miss Ruthie.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Just a little bit tired, but I'm good, thank you. The heat in Zambia is just too much, but we are managing.
You're managing. No, that's great. Well, I just want to say thank you for having you on Insaka Talk Show. This is the Insaka Talk Show with four ladies, and then we created this platform for young people like you, and just for everyone who have a story and you have a story to tell. And I'm going to be listening to your story, and it's amazing to see how much you're going, because I know you're going so fast, but you're pushing out there. I'll be here to listen to all that, but we create this platform for entertaining, enlighten, and educate. So you coming here with all this good, juicy conversation, I'm excited to hear what you have today. But before we dive in, so what was happening last week? You were invited somewhere. Tell me about it.
Oh yes, I attended the AIDS Walk Zambia, and I must say it was amazing. There were a lot of young people with so much good energy, and the way of advocacy was amazing because there was poetry, there was music, and it was just amazing. I couldn't believe we have such energetic people in our country. I mean, it was very, very amazing. The initiative is very good because it really communicated a lot to the young people. And when we talk of raising awareness, I feel like it's very right to start with the young children, because as they grow, they would have had the right information or the right foundation. And I must say, the foundation put up this work, and it was just so amazing. I would like to do that more often.
I know. Listen, I was honored for you to be part of it, and I was like, I know you're gonna have fun, and it was really amazing. Like you were like, yeah, why not? I know I have to open my shop in a couple hours, but I can make it for a little bit. That was amazing, and
Right.
that's what
Right.
leadership is supposed to be for the young people. Like you don't stop, you just go, 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 go. If you can, you say, oh, I'm not able, but for you to just to pick up and go. I have a couple photos that they took. That's you and Remy. I don't know the other gentleman name, but you guys look amazing. You rock the t-shirt, you look amazing. And I think I have another photo of you giving out this speech, and that was like, I was delighted. I was like, oh, that is so nice.
I must say it was amazing. It was amazing.
I know you were not able to walk, but this was part of the walk. So people walk. This is a part of our team. We had Tilo, and we had Borokio. We had Terry, the vocalist. We had Miss Pela Chile, and it was amazing to just see like this youth, and that's the whole reason why we do this work, because we figure when we bring in youth, in Misapela, and we bring a Bolokio, bring you, and then you bring in the cloud of a young youth to understand, like, listen, you're not by yourself, infected or affected. We can do this together as a team. And thank you for being there. It was amazing to see you there. I don't want to take up the walk over your conversation, because yours it's self-taught to spotlight story. So I want to hear all about it. But I'm gonna ask you, in your family, I'm gonna do icebreaker. Who was the notorious in your family?
I think I am. I am, because I feel like I always want to do things my way. Even when I'm taught not to do something, if I feel it's right for me, I'm not listening to you because I feel it's right.
That is nice. I think I am too. I'm the kind of notorious. I'm the judge in my family. I'm the prosecutor in my family. I'm the notorious in my family. I'm a good person, but I take things up to the limit, and then when I can't take it, you're out. That's it. You're out.
Right,
I'm that kind of
right.
person. I'm like, the bubbly person. Like, you want to talk to Winnie? Yes, a happy person, but yeah, she's that kind of person. So I know. That's good. Good to know that. So how many are you in your family? I want to know your story. How many are you in your family? Mm-hmm.
We are three. I'm born in a family of three females, and I'm the last born, raised by a single mother in Chingola, Copperbelt Province, Zambia. And the firstborn is a teacher, the second born is an engineer, and I'm a scientist. So I must say it's been a pretty amazing journey, because I've learned a lot from the surrounding, because I grew up in a surrounding where people feel like women can't, and which is very unfortunate. And here's a single mother raising up three daughters, and they just turn out to be amazing. So I must say I love my family. My mother is so amazing, and she's like a mother and a father. Yeah, she's so amazing. She has really been the person that has pushed me throughout my journey, because even when nobody believes, at least she always believed.
That is nice. That inspires me. I'm a single mom. I'm a single mom, but I have the father of my kids in my life. I'm in a relationship, but I'm a single mom. And one thing that I have done for myself, I have given it to my kids, and my kids is one of the best schools here, and my son is smart. Like, I just amazing. So when you say that, it's really amazing that even if you're a single mom, make sure your kids strive. Make sure your kids do what you did not do. Being a single mother should not label you down that, oh my gosh, my husband or the father of my kids is not there in my life. No. As a mom, you can pick up those pieces and make sure your kids do well. So kudos to your mom.
Right.
Thank you for what she did. Beautiful young women. Yeah, because being a single mom and having three kids, she'll be like, oh my God, that kind of thing. They would just
Right.
But she didn't do that, and she made you be a scientist. So you becoming a scientist, and you're shifting out of being a scientist to this life. I'm not gonna go far. I'm not even gonna push you. So how did you find yourself in Lusaka?
Okay, so I don't even know where to start from, because my journey is
okay.
so
Start from the
adventurous.
journey. Start from Ndola. Now you're a scientist. You're graduating in Ndola. Okay, we're
Right.
done with that part. Okay, now after college.
Okay, so after college, I went back home for like 6 months, because I needed something to do. So I was working there for some water company, and I wasn't getting paid on time, so I decided to stop. And then after that, because I already had interest in public speaking, and I was already this person who really loved this, and I was like, wait, I think let me do something with this skill. So I started learning more about public speaking, and I would do that mostly on my phone, where I'll just like research, because mostly I use my phone instead of my laptop. So I'll research more about public speaking, I'll learn, I'll listen to tutorials, I'll read books about public speaking. And with my interest in entrepreneurship, I was like, wait, How about I do more of public speaking, aligned to entrepreneurship, aligned to networking, aligned to public speaking and skills development, because I'm a young person who's also like learning new skills, because I also bake, by the way. I'm a baker, and I after that I decided to thank you. So I decided to start doing that on my Facebook platform. So I'll share videos on my Facebook talking about public speaking and all those things. I'll share a lot of information about few topics and here back to back. And I started getting invitations to come and speak right here in Lusaka. And I would travel to Lusaka like twice or once in a month, and it became very expensive for me. So I decided to relocate. I think 6 months after my training, my home training, 6 to 7 months, I decided I needed to relocate to Lusaka because I also started the Zambia Food Bank. But before I go there, so I had to relocate to Lusaka. I remember I only had a 6,000 kwacha, and I was like, I just need to move. I don't know how I'm going to earn money. I don't know.
Wait.
I was like,
wait, right there. You moved from Chingola to Lusaka with 600 kwacha. What did your mom say?
6,000.
6,000 kwacha. What did your mom say?
Okay, so number one, when I told her I wanted to relocate, she said no. She was like, how are you going to manage, finances and all those things? You're not even working. You don't have a stable job. And I told her, like, trust me, I got this. I'm a baker, and I also do marketing, because when I was learning public speaking, I was also learning marketing. So I was learning two things at once. So the marketing, when I talk of marketing, this is where like my major interest was in brand visibility. So I used to take up part-time jobs to market products and services for people, and they pay me for that. So I told her, I think that's enough for me to survive, for rent and for food. And trust me, she was really against. And she gave me a few months to say, okay, let's see how you're going to do in the first 3 months. But if you're going to have a problem, you need to get back home. And that's how I moved here, and I continued. I remember one of the biggest events that I attended in my public speaking. I shared the stage with the most good public speakers that we have in our country, like Leah Pambewe, Sani Zulu, Dubisani, and Yangani, and Ketisi Lloyd. And that panel, I was the youngest. I was very, very happy because I'm at the University of Zambia, the biggest institution in the country, and I'm sitting on a panel of CEOs, and then I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is me. But it was amazing.
That was amazing.
Right. Like, I really loved the space. And after that, I became a brand ambassador for a motor company. So they sell and buy vehicles. So I would advertise on my platform. I'll talk about their brand, and now my income was getting better, even though it wasn't the best of it, but it would sustain me for my rent and also my food. And then aside that, I also co-founded the Zambia Food Bank. So
how did that come up? Before you go further, how did the Zambian food come up? How did you started doing Zambian food?
Okay, great. So someone reached out to me. Enoch Moa reached out to me on my social media, on my Facebook, because he used to see my works. So he was interested in me being part of this initiative. By then, he was in the United States of America. Sorry. So when he was there, he came across people that were doing the food banking, and he thought that initiative would come to our country because we don't have food banks.
Yeah.
So when he reached out to me, he talked to me about being the project lead, and he talked to me about how these things work. And then I was like, I'll give it a shot, because I'm a person who never says no. I need to learn, I need to try. So I told him I've never really led a project, but it's going to be my first. So he says, you can learn while you do it. And so me and him founded the Zambia Food Bank, and we came up with a team of 4 people. We brought in 2 people, one for marketing and designs, branding, and one for community engagements. So when we started the Zambia Food Bank, the whole plan is and was to actually put food on the table of people who don't have. So we look at food insecurity because in Africa, and not just Zambia, in Africa, there's a lot of food insecurity, and we thought if Zambia would actually take up such practices where we look at Sustainable Development Goal 1 and 2, we can actually come up with a better space for people to actually have food, because not only are we get food from organizations, we get food from farmers, business owners, excess food, and we take it to the less privileged. And of course, we're going to practice food safety while we do that. And then, aside that, we also do community gardens, though we haven't commenced yet because of the drought that we had this year. But we do community gardens, which are organic farming, because we're also looking at the environment as the Zambia Food Bank. We are on the SDGs, so we actually want to do farming that's very sustainable.
That is very nice for the young people to do that, because even us, we have that in our foundation, that we have food banking where we can provide food, because there's no food in Zambia. Like over here in the US, there's a way they give out, like for people who are not able to like work, they give them the card where they can go get food almost every month. And then in Zambia, we have, like you say, the restaurant, the hotels, they throw away the food, so we can go get the food like 3 days before and give it to people who need to eat it, than putting in the garbage. But we don't really do that. Like, it's not strong enough. And I hope you guys push it. We are pushing it, whereby if we can go to the store before the food expires, 5 days before it expires, somebody can have it. So let's see how that works. But I'm proud of you guys. That's amazing. Now come back to you. So you had something interesting happening this year. You were at the UN. How was that? How did you get recognized by the president before you got to UN? Tell us more about that.
Okay, so to start with, I must say I'm an adventurous person, honestly. I love research, I love learning. So sometime last year, I got interested in policy research. So I started reading more about policies and how we can actually know if they're effective or not, and just like the monitoring and evaluation of policies. So I attended the Youth Indaba early this year. It was a space where we had over 5,000 Zambian youths from like across the country, and it was a space where we had the president of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. So we had a question time. So when we had this question time, people had their questions for the president, of course. And I was very, very curious about this youth policy, because from the look of things, it's not the first one, but how effective are these same policies that we launch? Because we don't need to have a museum of policies and they're not working. We don't even know if they're effective. So my interest was in the monitoring and evaluation of the policy, the youth policy, the 2024 one. So when we had the question time, I had a chance to ask the president about the monitoring and evaluation. I wanted to influence that. And then when I asked him that question about monitoring and evaluation of the policy, then it seems like it was overlooked. And so the president was impressed, and he asked the minister of Youth, Sports and Arts and the permanent secretary to actually follow up, because this is a good point that we almost miss every single time when we are launching these policies. And when he, in his own words, he was like, Ruth Ngoma, that's a very good question. Where's Ruth? Alikwisa? Where is she? And then he says, we need your number. And then I was so amazed. I didn't know.
That was amazing. Oh my gosh. I know, you were like a national television. Like, I'm in a national television and the president is asking me for a number. That was amazing. That should be nice.
I was just there seated, and I didn't even know what to do, because it was big news for me. I was just like, oh my goodness.
Like, I'm on TV. Yeah, what's going on here? No, that's
Right,
goodness.
right.
I'll tell you a little bit of that, not taking away from your story. So when the president came here, I think it was like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So we had this banquet. There was like a gala. So everybody was taking pictures, and they were like, everybody sit down, but everybody was following up. So as I was going to the president, the bodyguard stopped me. And then I was like, oh, like, of course I know the rules. I cannot touch. And then I didn't want to get further. But the president saw me, like, I was going to go, everybody was going to him. They let them take pictures with him. But as I was going there, the bodyguard came across me, and the president, he says, oh, no, push back, push back. I was like, okay. But the president saw me because I was sitting down and I was waiting for him to come. But when he was coming, we were sitting down. He was coming. The guy, the bodyguard pushed me down, but the president saw me. He was like, no. More than that. I was like, my name is Winnie Mason. It's like, like, can't you go put a picture of Winnie Mason? I'll put up a picture. You have no idea. I've been saying that Mr. Hakainde likes me. No, it was amazing. It was amazing, and I have a picture with him. I'm gonna post that. You're gonna see it. I was like smiling like a child because the fact is, I was almost pushing that, but he saw me because I was, like, I'm sure they know, but they have to follow the rules as well. So they told her to sit down, and I was doing what they told. But when the guy said no, sit down, I was like, okay. I'm like, it's not a big deal. I'll take pictures somewhere. I'll find him somewhere. But when he was like, no, let her get up. It's okay. You can come and take a picture. More than I'm like, Winnie Msonda. And more than Msonda. I'm like, can't go a picture of Msonda. And then the person who took a picture with me was Mr. Mwape, the Mwape Awards. Mr. Mwape took pictures. Yes, Mr. Mwape took pictures of me and the president because he was in front of me. So I didn't even give him a phone because we were close friends. So it was like, oh my gosh, Winnie, I'm taking pictures, and we were like laughing.
Oh, wow.
So I was like next to the president, and he was taking pictures. So it was amazing. And it's funny because I never deleted his number. I still have the same pictures because the conversation, we still have it. It was like, Winnie, about president. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, listen, I'm really. So for you being recognized by the president, especially on national TV, that was amazing. So what was the experience for you to come to the UN? Now you tell us more.
Okay, so for the fact that I'm into policy research, and the United Nations Economic and Social Forum is all about policy making and all those things, to see what the UN countries are actually facing, the challenges that the young people are facing out there. And I'm glad to say I shared that space with the people from other countries, and my experience was amazing. My stay was great, and the fact that I was in a space where I'm with people who are like-minded. So it was a very comfortable space for me because I learned a lot from other people. And I also learned the fact that it's not just about Zambia, it's all about the world at large. So when we're making these policies, it's not just about a country, it's about unity, it's about collaboration. And it was a very amazing stay for me because that was the biggest exposure of my life, I must say. Like,
I saw you. I was like, she's in New York. I'm like, okay. She's like, I'm in New York City.
I was actually in New York. I went to New Jersey. I also went to Long Island.
Oh, yeah, because you were like on the center, so you were like right there. That was amazing for a young woman, a young girl who's striving herself, and everything you are doing is just amazing. So I'm gonna ask you, because you are saying all these things, but your profession already, you're still in technology. So how does that work? Are you still gonna be in technology development, or you're still gonna just like change it all and just be a public speaking? Like, where are you with your career wise?
Okay, so to start with, I can multitask. I have that ability. I always tell myself I can actually work on function more than a computer. So I wouldn't just like let go of things that I love. So to start with, I grew up with the liking of science. When I was young, I really loved science. Though, like the time I was growing, I wasn't a very bright student because I didn't really understand the importance of education. I'll just overlook it and I'll go for exams without studying, but I'll still pass. So in 2017, I actually participated in a JETS fair where I was turning sulfur dioxide into sulfuric acid because of the interest I had in science, of course, and with the help of my teacher. And I remember I was awarded the second, I had the second position on the Copper Belt, and it was like the first award that I ever got. And I loved that. And I was like, wait, I can do more in science. I want a life that's very experimental. And hence me doing science laboratory. And then aside that, I also realized I had the ability to speak, I had the ability to teach. So I started using that ability to actually extend the information and the knowledge that I had, because I realized most people actually out there don't even like reading, especially young people. They don't like reading, but they can listen. So I read information and I pass it through talking. So hence the public speaking events I've been invited to back at the University of Zambia. I'll actually be at UNILAS, University of Lusaka, on Friday, which is next week. Yeah, should be next week. I'll be speaking there to just to like share my story. So I've actually been to a couple of universities and a couple of public speaking events, just where I share more about certain informations like networking, the power of networking, the power of skill development, the power of reading. I always have these articles, especially on my LinkedIn. If you're to go through my LinkedIn, I always talk about things. I write a lot, especially when I'm in my element. When I'm in my element, I prefer writing. So I like text, write up something, and I share it on my LinkedIn, just so I could like educate the next person out there. So when it comes to like technology and to development and policy, I think this can work together, because when we talk of development, even in the science sector, especially in our country, we actually need to develop in those areas, which we are not yet. We're still developing. So when it comes to developing the country, policy making, this is where we actually incorporate all these things like the AI, artificial intelligence. These are things that are actually coming up super hot. And if young people don't understand those aspects, they'll be left behind. And we don't want to leave anyone behind. Right.
And that's the thing, like the country is developing, the world is developing so fast, and we need to be on top of it, because this is now, like, listen, we can be on the computer, you can learn, like you say, you can do self-taught, you can learn anything on the computer. There's some things myself too, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Oh yeah, I'm able, like, goodness, where were you all this my life? I've been looking for you. So especially the young ones, they have opportunity to just dive in, go to school, go back to school, pay attention to school, because that's the only way you get opportunity to be like Ruth, and just to be like adventurous, because you are like a rising star, you're growing up and your future looks so bright. So keep up with learning, don't give up. Now I'm going back to Ruth in Lusaka. What is Ruth doing right now in Lusaka?
Okay, so right now I'm into thrift, salaula. For Zambians, we call it salaula. So it's thrift, second-hand clothes, where I get second-hand clothes from a few plugs that I have, some from UK, some from US. So there are stores here where we get plugged, and I get to sell them at a very affordable price. So I recently opened my store, and my target market actually is the students, because I've been a student. I know how it is to struggle as a student. So you find that my price range is actually very affordable. My target is actually the University of Zambia, Cavendish University, UNILAS, because my store is actually near these universities. So yes, so I came up with this initiative because I realized most people actually think you only have to look good when you have like new clothes, and if you don't have money, you can't look good. So I want to actually clear that up, to say you can actually reuse the clothes somebody else used. So I actually also, even speaking of like reduce, reuse, recycle, those things, like we can reuse some clothes, because even the clothes that I have are actually very good second-hand clothes. Because some of them still have their tags on, but maybe they weren't sold. So we get to buy them at a cheaper price. So I've been doing that, and also I bake. So thrift and baking is what actually keeps me, and also public speaking. So I use the monies that I raise from these three to actually pay my rent and also buy food. And also,
One thing I'm gonna tell you that I am super proud of you. Like I think I told you more than a million times now.
thank you
Like you
so
a
much.
young girl, you are not waiting for somebody to give you money. While you are at it, you are working using your initiative to sustain yourself. That is amazing. Because most of young girls now, all they look up to this people on the social media who look so pretty, who have nails done, who are eating in a restaurant, who have nice long hair, who have nice eyeshadows, and they look pretty and they want to be like them. But for you, you're like, no, I'm still working on myself, taking care of myself, developing myself to do better. But I'm going to do business, and I'm going to do the business that's going to even help my friends, because I was at the university at some point and I didn't have that. So I'm going to sell the clothes on a cheaper price to make sure everybody doesn't feel left out. That is amazing. And you're still baking to sustain yourself. That is amazing. Like crazy. Like I listen, crazy. Well, I have a couple of things I wanted to ask this question. I don't know if it's asking. I saw a couple of photos and then I was like, wow, what were you? And what is let me go back to this. Is this on the Saka Museum?
Oh yes, that's Lusaka Museum. I
I want
actually went.
to.
Sorry.
No. I wanted just to move myself so I can see that. Yeah. So what was going on there? Because it's like, whoa, you were in the Lusaka Museum.
Okay, like I like doing research, and mostly my research was just like home based. I read, I don't visit these places. So I was like, I'm taking another step. I don't just research, I visit the places. So
Yeah.
I was at government complex. I was at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts. Then after I finished my meeting, I was like, wait, I think I gotta visit the museum. So when I went there, this place is amazing. Honestly, I was shocked, and they actually have costumes. You pay for the costumes, of course. And I was like, I'm an Ngoni girl, so can I get something that is aligned to my tribe? And I got that outfit. It was only at 20 kwacha, by the way. I don't know
Mm.
about people out there, but for a Zambian person, it's actually it's very affordable. I didn't even know like museums are that affordable, but because I stay home, I think they're expensive. But when I went there, I found like you pay 20 kwacha to like enter. Was it a 10 or a 20 for the costume? I paid at 20, and I actually, like I said, I love telling my own story. So I don't like it when another person tries to tell me about my country. I want to be that person who tells you about my country, because this is
Yes.
not your
Yes.
country.
This is
So,
mine. This is Zambia Kuchala. Listen, this is my country.
yes, and they also, the person that tells the story has the power, and I want that power as a Zambian. I want to be proud Zambian. When I step out there, I tell the story about my country. I'm super proud. So
Yeah.
let me take interest in these things.
That is nice. No, that was nice. I saw that. I was like, that was interesting. That was very interesting. So, and then this is when you were in UN, right?
Right, right. That was the time I was actually yes, correct.
That is amazing. So, what would you tell a young girl who's struggling right now, trying to make ends meet, and then they have full of life, they have potential? What would you advise them?
Okay, so I'll tell them, number one, your background story is just a background story, and you can change that. You can write your own story. And the only way you can do that is when you choose to define who you are. You need to understand your purpose, you need to understand change, because if you don't want to change, you're going to be in on the same level. So if you're a young person out there, you need to understand nobody's coming to change your life except you. Maybe external people can come, but they can only help when you understand your potential, when you understand your abilities. So you just need to get started. People will come in, destiny helpers will come in, but you need to start. And you need to believe, because sometimes you start without believing. You need to have the faith. Like I always say, sometimes I'm stressed and all that, and I'm just like, I'm keeping my faith, because I choose to.
Yes.
I choose to keep that faith, because nothing is going to change my story except myself and my faith. So if you're a young person, just get started. It's gonna be rough. I tell you, you're going to break down, you cry, but that's just a process. Even when diamonds, they go through under pressure. So you need to understand it's just a phase. It's just a phase. And yes, I think that's what I would tell a young person out there.
That is very good and bold, really. Like, that is amazing. You moved. So how old were you when you moved from Angola? How old were you?
20. I think 20.
That is good. That's good enough. That's good enough. And then kids at your age, they get scared to move out of a country or a state to state because they feel like, oh, I'm gonna miss my parents. I moved out of Zambia when I was 19. Come to you.
Wow.
Yeah. So go. Keep up. You boy, just do it. You got it and you can do it. We came here, me and my friends were like, okay, now what? But the only
What's
thing that
next?
yeah, like that. I think I had $1,000 in my hand. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I knew that this was it. I knew this was it. But it was like, okay, what's next? But one thing me and my friend were like, it doesn't matter what it is. This is my story, and I'm gonna tell it when I'm ready to tell my story. But look at me now. I'm 45 with 2 kids.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
American, and life goes on, and everything else happens. But you know what? If I gave up, no worries. It's always happened with the network. Oh, if I gave up, I would have been in Zambia. But one thing I did was I'm not gonna give up. I never give up. I had faith. There was time that I break down. There was time I missed my parents. There was time I wanted to go. We had some of our friends who came and they left. But one thing I knew, and me and my bestie, 3 of them, Matt, Stanley, one thing we knew was like, we are not going. So whatever we did, there was like, I'll just say when you come, it's like, we have to get IDs. Where we travel to go get IDs. We have to do this, and then we keep the information, we share the information. And as you grow, you just like get to know, like, you know what? When you have faith, you can be anywhere. From here, I think they can take me to China. I can survive in China. Even if I don't speak Chinese. But that's me. I think I can do it. So keep up with the faith. And then as a young entrepreneur now, entrepreneurship, what can you advise? I mean, I told you about the kid. What can you advise a young person to fall into instead of just because, some of these young women like you, they believe, oh, if I have a sugar daddy, he'll provide this for me and then I'll go to school. What can you say about that? Because we have HIV, we have other disease, and just like you lose the self-esteem when you date older people. What would you tell them on a relationship-wise advice?
Okay, so to start with, I think that happens because people have less information about bursaries and things like CDF. So most people actually think they are only sponsored by the sugar daddies and all those things, but we actually have people that sponsor. We have organizations that sponsor people.
That's right.
And I feel like when people have more information about this, it's actually easier. And speaking of relationships, I think I can say you actually need to be very careful with who you fall in a relationship with, or who you get in a relationship with, because it's very, very disturbing. It's going to disturb your mindset. You're going to have mental health problems because, trust me, it's not easy to actually run a business. You want to run A, B, C, D, and then you have a toxic relationship behind you and all those things. And also, if you want to be in a relationship, don't just go because of what the person is providing, like finances, because how's your mental health? How's your relationship? Is there any connection? This is why you find people are cheating, because they're not even connected to the person they're married to or the person that they're dating. So you need to date your friend. It's actually easier. It's easier to be in a relationship with someone who's your friend. So I would advise you actually stay away from relationships when you're not ready, because they'll mess you up. They'll just give you mental breakdowns and all those things. And as a young person, don't even feel pressured when you're 25, especially for Zambians. When you're in Zambia and you're 25 and you're not married, that's a problem. But let me tell you one thing.
25?
Yes, it's a problem. The question of marriage is 25. So if it's your time to get married, it's gonna come. Okay, it can be earlier or later, but it's still fine. Just move with time. Move with yourself. Don't rush yourself. Love yourself more. And I think the more we love ourselves, the more it's easy for other people to love us. So if you want to see validation out there, it's not the right time for you to be in a relationship.
Perfect answer. And then another question I'm going to ask you, it's not a question, it's a social media. how can you advise young people to use a social media platform? Because social media platform, you can use it for many good stuff than just go and post it because you want to be famous. You don't go on your social media posting to be famous. It's more educational. It's more what you learn. It's more what you're sharing. It's more what you're about to talk about. Like your social media platform is very engaging in the education sector. So what can you advise young people with social media?
Okay, so I'd advise young people on social media to say social media is a space where you can be who you want to be. If you want to be a king, you want to be a queen, you want to be ABCD,
Slay
but you need
Queen.
to yes. So you need to understand what you want to be, because when we talk of branding as well, most people outlook the fact that you can't even be in certain meetings because of how your brand is out there. Um,
That's right.
I believe in education. I believe in being informative, and I believe I can still get influential without undressing for people, undressing on social media to show them my body and all those things. So I'm in that sector because social media is a space where we have a lot of people, a lot of young people. But if they don't come across educational things, they just come across things that are not educational. I feel like we're failing. So I want to be that person on someone's timeline to learn something. Are you learning something from what I'm sharing? Because I'm telling you, a lot of young people out here actually, I feel like they're misusing social media, because social media is a space that will give you more opportunities. Let's speak of LinkedIn. LinkedIn has given me a lot of opportunities that I
Yeah.
never even thought I would have. So when we utilize this link these social media platforms, you find that even when people talk of, no, I've never been abroad, I've never done this, those are the platforms where you can sell yourself in the education sector to actually be out there, because you're being different, you're being unique. And I believe in being unique. I don't have to do what my friend is doing. I believe in what I want to be, and you can be that person as well to shine in your own light.
Yeah, like you. It's from self-taught to spotlight. Like you're doing your own story. You are being you. You're being authentic. You're being original. I just want to say thank you so much, Ruth. You are amazing. And then I think I
Thank
have one photo that I saw. You've been nominated for Mwape Awards. I want to see that. I'm like, I was like, oh, she is. Let me see if I have it. It's supposed to be there. Maybe not. I'm gonna have to find this photo. I did put it down there. Maybe not. But just give me 1 minute. I was very excited to see that you'll be nominated for Mwape Award, and it would be nice if you're coming. We'll get to see you, and you get to walk around New York City. You can be free and walk around and just enjoy. If you are coming, I'll be super excited. I'll be more than happy to, like, oh yeah, she's here. So
I'll be
people,
happy to be
I
back
don't
in
know
New York
who's
City as
voting. I
well.
don't know how it works with Mwape Awards. That Ruthie here, she's been nominated as a rising star. Let me see if I find this photo. Ooh. I thought I had it. Oh no, Ruthie. Okay, I think I found it. I want to show. Be nice just to show, yeah. There's a photo of you being nominated for Mwape Awards 2024. So this young lady here, she's nominated for Rising Star. And we pray everything goes well. She can be in New York and receive an award. She's a smart girl. She's one of the girls right there moving the movement of education and science at the same time, public speaking. And we want to encourage these young women like her. Like, you know what? Nothing can stop a young girl from Chingola with its 6,000 kwacha and to become who she wants to be. She's here telling her own story, and I'm super, super proud of you. And then this is amazing. You know what we have in common right now? 2012, I was a Rising Star Award that I got
Oh
from
wow.
Yes. I remember
Wow.
I had no idea. I was just telling my story because, like I said, I don't want to sit here and talk about Williamson Up Foundation because it can be all day. That's why I was like, I want you to say your story. everybody who knows me, I'll talk about my story. And now I feel like it's a broken record, but I'll talk. I'm like, this is what happened. This is what I'm like so passionate about it.
Right.
I think I can't stop talking about it because I know what God has in store for me and my team. But just me myself, I'll tell my story over and over. So I think Mama, when we met, we talked on the phone. It's like, oh, I was on your page. Like you say, it's very good to have your page and personalize your page for who you want to be. My page is like, I'm a family person, but I'll post of the foundation a little bit, but we have a foundation page separate. But when somebody goes on my page, they can see what I'm all about. You know that, okay, this girl, she's doing her own thing with her family, but this is my job. This is what I want to be. So I
Right.
went to my page and saw my page like, I like what you do, but you don't post much. I'm like, no, I have a separate page for it all that I post anything and everything to do with what I do. So he said, this is amazing. So what do you want to do? What do you see yourself 10 years from now? Which is I'm gonna ask you. And then I was like, "Grrr." It's like, and then 5 years, I'm like, "Grrr." It was like, Winnie, I was like, yes. By then I had my 2-year-old. He's like, how are you gonna do this with your child? I'm like, we're gonna do it. Believe it or not, because of faith, the first time we did the AIDS Walk New York, it was just me, my 2-year-old daughter, my best friend Stanley, my other good friend of mine, Sarah, and my daughter. We're 5 of us. We walked Manhattan for AIDS Walk Zambia. Just 5. You know what I had is faith. And even when James Mape saw that, he was like, you are crazy. I'm like, yes, I made. My ex-husband was like, are you sure? Just 5 of us? I'm like, yeah, we made 5 t-shirts just to go and walk because I had faith and I knew what to come. So when I was nominated for Rising Star, I didn't even know I was gonna win. I'm like, oh no, like it's just one of those things. Because I know I was just starting. I just knew that this is what I'm gonna do and this is what I'm gonna become. So when I got
Right.
an award, actually, because I used to do like a fashion show during the events, like I'm part of the event and planner and all that stuff. So I was like busy doing something else, and my friend Sarah was like, winning on the Rising Star. I was like, Rising, what? Me on the stage, I was somewhere. But it was amazing to receive that, and that motivates me to become who I am because somebody else believed me and saw my vision. And all you want is just people who can see your vision, because then they can carry it and then share with everybody else. You cannot tell
Right.
people to be in your vision. They can just like help you carrying it. Have a vision.
Right.
God has given you a vision, but you can't do it yourself. But when you have people who believes in you and they can carry the vision, it's amazing. So for you being a rising star this year, and I'm amazed and I'm happy and I'm excited, and I pray that you come to America. So what's your
I
5-year
pray
plan
so
before you
too.
leave?
Okay, so my 5-year plan is number one, because I'm into marketing. I want to be the one of the biggest marketing agency to own one of the biggest marketing agency in the country, and then also I want to push the space of science, and I want the Zambia Food Bank network to actually grow because we recently got recognized from the Globe Food Bank early this year because we've pushed in the works, and I'm super excited that Zambia is like on the globe now. So I'm really hoping that in the next 5 years, the food bank would have grown, would have had food banks in each province or each district. And also, I'd like to upgrade my studies. I'd like to actually upgrade my studies and to see where this will go. But there's just a lot of vision. Like my vision board is actually very big. When you look at it, like, what? I'm so adventurous.
You have a vision board. I have a vision board too. And it's funny, my
Oh
vision
my
board this year
goodness.
has been skyrocketing.
Oh
I'll show you.
wow.
Yes, I have a vision board, and then I listen. People don't really understand. You can't just live without seeing it. You gotta believe, and God will just give it to you when you have. It finds you when you're ready. But have a
Right.
vision board. Think about what you
Right.
want to be. It's
And
not
it's
too
just
late.
very unfortunate that my battery is draining. You know, I experiencing load
No,
shedding.
that's fine. We've been here for 50 minutes. This is great. I just want to say thank you so much for today. And Ruthie, you are amazing. God bless you. And from me and the Insaka Talk Show, we just want to say thank you. Your story is not done, and I would like to have you soon.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super happy. I'm excited, and I've been seeing your platform. You're doing amazing, and I'd love to learn more from you. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, love. Have a good one.
You too.